Hello, my name is Sarah Amalia Hairunisa, school number 83202100029. In this video, I will read the Northland, Chapter 2. In Seattle, four men carried the crib to a garden with a high wall. A fat man with a red sweater looked at him. Buck threw himself against the crib. He growled and barked. The man broke a hatchet and clapped. "Are you going to take him out now?" asked one of the men. "Sure," the man said. He hit the crate with a hatchet to open it. The four men ran away. They went to sit on the high wall to watch the show. Buck threw himself against the wood of the crate. He beat it and growled. He wanted to get out. The man with the hatchet opened the crate. Then he put down the hatchet and took the club. Buck was really a red-eyed devil. His hair stood up and his eyes were red with anger. He jumped straight at the man and his mouth was ready to bite. At that moment, the man hit him with the club. He fell to the ground on his back. This was the first time he was hit with a club. He did not understand. He jumped at the man again, and again the man hit him with the club. He fell to the ground again. This time, Buck knew that it was the club, but his anger was so great that he did not stop. He jumped at the man a dozen times, the club hit him. There was blood on his nose, mouth, and ears. Then the man hit him very hard on the nose. The pain was terrible. It was agony. Buck jumped at the man again, and the man threw him to the ground. Buck did not move for some time. "He knows how to teach a dog a lesson," said one of the four men. Then they returned to the train station. Buck slowly opened his eyes. He could not move. He watched the man in the red sweater. The fat man was leading the silent keeper. Later, Alan said, "Your name is Buck. Well, Buck," he said in a friendly voice. "Now you know your place. Be a good dog and we will be friends. Be a bad dog and I must use my club again. Understand?" As he spoke, he touched Buck's head. Buck was angry inside, but he didn't move. When the man brought him wet water and meat, Buck drank and ate. He learned that a man with a club was stronger than him. He never forgot it. Life was now Fisher. Each day, other dogs came. The man in the red sweater hit many dogs. Buck understood that a dog must obey a man with a club. He was master. One dog did not obey, and he was killed. Men often came to talk to the man in the red sweater. When they paid money, the man took one or more of the dogs. Those dogs never come back. Where did they go? Buck thought. He was afraid of the future. One day, a short man came to look at Buck. The man spoke bad English. "That strong dog, how much?" $300, said the man in the red sweater. "And it's a gift at that price." Proulx smiled. The price of dog was high at the time. Proulx knew dogs, and he knew Buck was an excellent dog. Buck saw money was between the two men. He was not surprised when he and a Newfoundland dog called Carly were taken away by a small man. He took them to a ship called the Narwhal. From the ship, he and Carly looked back at Seattle. It was the last time they saw the warm Southland. Proulx took Buck and Carly to Francos. Proulx was a French Canadian, but Francos was a half Indian and had very dark skin. Buck did not like this man, but he respected them. He learned that Proulx and Francos were calm and fair. They knew everything about dogs. There were two other dogs on the ships. One was a big white dog called Spitz. He seemed friendly, but he was not honest. He smiled when he tried to take Buck's food. Francos was fast and hit Spitz. From this moment, Buck began to like him. The other dog was called Dave. He was unfriendly and always wanted to be alone. Dave ate and slept and was interested in nothing. Day and night, the ship sailed. Every day was the same, but Buck noticed that the weather was colder. Finally, one morning, the narwhal engines stopped. Buck and the other dogs were excited. Something was happening. Francos lashed the dog and took them outside. At the first step, Buck's feet went down into something white and soft. He jumped back. More of this white stuff was falling from the sky and fell on Buck. He shook himself, but more fell on him. He smelled it curiously, then tasted some on his tongue. It was like fire, and the next moment it disappeared. This confused him. He tried again with the same result. People looked at him and laughed. It was his first snow. This is Indonesian translate from the story. The Northland. Di Seattle, 4 orang membawa peti itu ke taman dengan tembok tinggi. Seorang pria gemuk dengan sweater merah menatapnya. Buck melemparkan dirinya ke peti. Dia mengeram dan menggonggong. Pria itu membawa kapak dan tongkat. "Apakah kamu akan membawanya keluar sekarang?" tanya salah satu pria itu. "Tentu," kata pria itu. Dia memukul peti dengan kapak untuk membukanya. Keempat pria itu melarikan diri. Mereka pergi duduk di tembok tinggi untuk menonton pertunjukan. Buck melemparkan dirinya ke peti kayu. Dia menggigitnya dan mengeram. Dia ingin keluar. Pria dengan kapak membuka peti. Kemudian dia meletakkan kapak dan mengambil tongkat. Buck benar-benar iblis bermata merah. Rambutnya berdiri dan matanya merah karena marah. Dia melompat lurus ke arah pria itu dan mulutnya siap untuk menggigit. Pada saat itu, pria itu memeluknya dengan tongkat. Dia jatuh ke tanah di punggungnya. Ini adalah pertama kalinya dia dipukul dengan tongkat. Dia tidak mengerti. Dia melompat ke arah pria itu lagi. Dan lagi-lagi pria itu memukulnya dengan tongkat. Dia jatuh ke tanah lagi. Kali ini Buck tahu bahwa itu adalah tongkat. Pria itu belasan. Tapi kemarahannya begitu besar sehingga dia tidak berhenti. Dia melompat ke arah pria itu belasan kali dan selusin kali tongkat memukulnya. Ada darah-darah di hidung, mulut, dan telinganya. Kemudian pria itu memukul hidungnya dengan sangat keras. Rasa sakit sangat mengerikan. Itu adalah penderitaan. Buck melompat ke arah pria itu lagi dan pria itu melemparkannya ke tanah. Buck tidak bergerak untuk beberapa waktu. Dia tahu bagaimana memberi anjing pelajaran, kata salah satu dari 4 pria itu. Kemudian mereka kembali ke stasiun kereta. Buck perlahan membuka matanya. Dia tidak bisa bergerak. Dia memperhatikan pria berbaju merah itu. Pria gemuk itu sedang membaca surat penjaga salon dan berkata, "Namamu Buck." "Nah, Buck," katanya dengan suara ramah. "Sekarang kamu tahu tempatmu. Jadilah anjing yang baik dan kita akan berteman. Anjing jahat dan aku harus menggunakan tongkatku lagi, mengerti?" Saat berbicara, dia menyentuh kepala Buck, dan Buck marah, tetapi dia tidak bergerak ketika pria itu membawakannya air dan daging. Buck minum dan makan. Dia belajar bahwa seorang pria dengan tongkat lebih kuat darinya. Dia tidak pernah melupakannya. Hidup sekarang lebih ganas. Setiap hari anjing lain datang. Pria berbaju merah itu memukul banyak anjing. Buck mengerti bahwa seekor anjing harus mematuhi seorang pria dengan tongkat. Dia adalah seorang monster. Seekor anjing tidak patuh dan dia dibunuh. Pria sering datang untuk berbicara dengan pria berbaju merah. Ketika mereka membayar uang, orang-orang itu mengambil satu atau lebih dari anjing-anjing itu. Anjing-anjing itu tidak pernah kembali. Kemana mereka pergi, pikir Buck. Dia takut akan masa depannya. Suatu hari, seorang pria pendek datang untuk melihat Buck. Pria itu berbicara bahasa Inggris dengan buruk. "Itu anjing yang kuat. Berapa?" $300, kata pria berbaju merah. Dan itu hadiah dengan harga itu. Perlaut tersenyum. Harga anjing itu sangat tinggi. Perlaut mengenal anjing dan dia tahu Buck adalah anjing yang luar biasa. Buck melihat uang lewat di antara kedua pria itu. Dia tidak terkejut ketika dia dan seekor anjing Newfoundland bernama Curly dibawa pergi oleh pria kecil itu. Dia membawa mereka ke sebuah kapal bernama Narwhal. Dari kapal dia dan Curly melihat kembali ke Seattle. Itu adalah terakhir kali yang mereka melihat Southland yang hangat. Perlaut membawa Buck dan Curly ke Francois. Perlaut adalah seorang Prancis Kanada, tetapi Francois adalah setengah India dan memiliki kulit yang sangat gelap. Buck tidak menyukai orang-orang ini, tapi dia menghormati mereka. Dia mengetahui bahwa Perlaut dan Francois tenang dan adil. Mereka tahu segalanya tentang anjing. Ada 2 anjing lain di kapal. Salah satunya adalah anjing putih besar bernama Spitz. Dia tampak ramah, tetapi dia tidak jujur. Dia tersenyum ketika dia mencoba mengambil makanan Buck. Francois cepat dan memukul Spitz. Sejak saat itu Buck mulai menyukainya. Anjing lainnya bernama Dave. Dia tidak ramah dan selalu ingin sendirian. Dave makan dan tidur dan tidak tertarik pada apapun. Siang malam kapal berlayar. Siang hari sama, tapi Buck memperhatikan bahwa cuacanya lebih dingin. Akhirnya suatu pagi mesin narwhal berhenti. Buck dan anjing-anjing lainnya sangat bersemangat. Sesuatu sedang terjadi. Francois mengikat 2 anjing dan membawa mereka keluar. Pada langkah pertama, kaki Buck turun menginjak sesuatu yang putih dan lembut. Dia melompat mundur. Dia lebih baik banyak benda putih ini jatuh dari langit dan menimpa Buck. Dia mengunjung dirinya sendiri, tetapi lebih banyak jatuh padanya. Dia menciumnya dengan rasa ingin tahu, lalu mencicipinya dengan lidahnya. Itu seperti api, dan saat berikutnya menghilang. Ini membuatnya bingung. Dia mencoba lagi dengan hasil yang sama. Orang-orang pun memandangnya dan tertawa. Itu adalah salju pertamanya. Thank you.